I think we did it, Lana.
It was like, if we didn't, it was very close, like a second apart.
I haven't gone back and looked at any of them to see if we've actually gotten one. So
I
I'm just
think
going to
we
keep
did
saying we
once or
maybe.
twice. I think we did once or twice, but you know.
Maybe. Oh, well, hello, house guests, and welcome to a wild and crazy The Cup TV, because this house is wild.
And crazy.
The Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy, Say Something Gay. Gay, we are drinking a Say Something Large coffee.
Oh, good.
But it's my beautiful lion mug from the San Diego Zoo. It's
Hey.
very big. I needed a big mug of coffee today, but if I was drinking a smaller mug of coffee, I would be doing it in my cup mug, which I will bring up again when Lana does her intro.
Cup mug.
No, not yet.
But why not yet? Cup mug. Cup mug. We don't have to wait to the intro to do the cup mug. Right now, my cup mug is currently holding nothing. Well, paper. It's holding paper.
Well, that's fine.
I have chip paper in there. But anyway,
Work.
But you can get your cup mug at lanagcreations.etsy.com, or you can get your cup mug and all your other cup merch. Check us out. And guess what? We do ship internationally, so there are no excuses. And if you have no idea who I am, let me let you know. I am the girl Lana, your resident Tiva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink that tea because you know I love me some tea. And if you have some tea, you know to hit me up. And yeah, that's it. Period. Oh, I'm not drinking anything because right before we got on the air, I finished my water. The same water I've been drinking for the last 2 days. Yay. But I finally finished that bottle, so maybe I'll get another one for the next 2 recordings or 3 recordings. Who knows?
Not work fan favorite.
It is for a queer college graduate who plays way too much Smash Bros. And this past Wednesday, I got my first top 8 in Ultimate in a hot minute, and it made me feel very good about myself. But regardless of all of that, here lately I've been playing Smash Bros. And Death's Door on PS4. I'm this close to finishing it up. Great game. And dear Lord, what a mess have we found ourselves into today. Because Big Brother has turned into Big Nuts, and it has been that way the entire season. So, yeah, I hope you got your, your tinfoil hat from the BB17 poll comp. And here we
go. This house. We were gagged last night, and we've been following this damn house from the moment it started. But we were gagged and gooped.
I mean, I'll be honest. When they were showing it in the episode of like Suri and Matt talking about the advantage and all that mess, my first thought was, Matt, why are you telling Suri? And then my second thought was, I mean, I'm not mad that you're telling Suri, but like, you know. And then the third thought was, but he's not gonna use it.
We'll talk about it because yeah.
I had the total opposite reaction. I was like, Matt, why are you telling Suri? Yes, I was with you on that. But then I was like, Matt, it makes sense that you're telling Suri because Matt is like, look here, I am really playing this really good middle kind of rat back and forth game. I got my people who think they got everybody think they got Matt. Everybody in that whole house think they got Matt. And the only person who really know who got Matt is Matt. And I think that him telling Suri was putting his flag down, like this is who I'm rocking with. And for real, like Suri is one of these people who can just look you in the eye and make you believe that she got you. And Matt is like, you know what? I'm gonna do that. And we saw from the episode how it worked for Matt in Ceree's eyes. Like Ceree's like, I'll need to protect Matt to the end. Like
Matt Fields, my only child.
my only like, seriously. She was like, I might want to take Matt to top 4, maybe even top 3 if we can do it right. And I'm like,
It
if
was.
you go
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
if you go have somebody who go protect you and be loyal to you, a Matt is not a bad option to have in your corner. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy to me when she was talking about who she wanted to take the top 3, though.
Oh,
because
and Izzy, it was before Jared. Mm-hmm.
I was okay. Here's the thing: we know Suri is somebody who is willing to, cut pretty much anybody if she thinks they stand her chance of winning, stand in her way. But I'll be honest, I didn't think that she would cut Jared that early. You know what I mean? I thought at worst she would cut Jared at like 4 or 5, and now we're like, oh, he's not in your plans for 3 or 4. That's interesting.
I mean, I don't think she will cut Jared unless Jared continues doing what Jared is doing, because all Suri needs to do is catch wind of the crap that Jared is pulling in this house right now. And I think this week might be a really good week. She finds out, and then she's going to have to make that decision. Do I ride with my son or because I really feel like Suri is being torn in 2 different ways. She wants Jared to succeed and have the same kind of, I guess, reality acclaim that she has, because Jared wants to be a legend. He doesn't want to live in his mother's shadow. And he wants to step out on his own. But stepping out on his own is tanking Suri's game. And I feel like Suri will either be like, you know what, I'm going to let him have it because this is my son. I just want to play the game with him, and I got the opportunity to do that. I bow out gracefully. Or Suri is going to turn into Suri. The Suri feels we saw on the Traitors, the Suri feels that we seen on Survivor, and it's like, look, whoever is standing in my way of what I want, and this 750K is what I want, click, click, you got to go. And guess what, Jared? You standing in my way. And you tanking me as you're standing in my way. You're not just standing in my way. You're literally blowing up stuff in my path so I can't get there. So I got to get you out the way. And I kind of want the latter for Suri. I don't want Suri to be like, I played this game. I played these games. Therefore, I could be okay with Jared, taking the throne. And like, I don't want Suri's reputation to go down because of Jared. And right now, Jared is in the way of making that happen. And it's like, ugh, no.
Yeah. Well, let's talk briefly about the Wednesday episode. Nothing really much happened other than the veto and Corey telling America about his brother.
And I mean, I think it's really funny because people are like, why is he keeping that a secret? And I'm like, well, I mean, it does show, one, that he actively has like more information on like social game structure and that kind of thing. Even if Zach didn't do particularly well on 42? Yeah, 42. Yeah, 42. Still. But secondly, because Corey doesn't need to tell anybody that his brother was on Survivor, it kind of just needlessly adds a bigger target on his back than he already has when people are, already kind of coming wise to where he's situated right now. So I don't blame him for keeping it. But the veto was fun. I liked the veto comp.
I mean, honestly, I don't see what the point of keeping that a secret, because it's not like you said, it wasn't like Zach did anything on Survivor. He was first boot. Nobody cares. And I'm like, okay, so your brother was on Survivor. That does not make you a expert on social strategy games. That means your brother got on a TV show. That it just feels like a unnecessary secret, just like Bowie Jane saying she's 44, she's 34. Like unnecessary, like so dumb. Nobody cares. And Felicia saying she's 55. Baby, we know you 63. We know Bowie Jane ain't 34. And who cares about your brother being on Survivor?
The only real secret that actually matters is the one that's pertinent to the game, and that's Suri and Jared.
Literally, that's the only secret that is important in this whole aspect of games. Like, people keep it secrets. I don't care about your occupation when you go on these shows, because you can be a billionaire, but that does not mean you don't want to have a experience in social strategy in this game. You could be a doctor, a lawyer, all these things. Your job is not important because you didn't come on this show because you were good at your job. You got on this show because you wanted to play a social strategic game. And guess what? Me being unemployed and you being a doctor don't mean us on any different playing fields when it comes to strategic strategy. So that's what I'm just like, oh, what we lying for about that? But whatever.
But Brooke, you like the veto? Tell us about it.
Yes,
yeah, so they went to this, it was in the comic verse for starters, which I will say, I'm happy that we're actually seeing comic verse comps, because for the first few weeks, I think we got one, and it was just the balance beam comp that we've gotten like 4 times.
Well, there's four universes that we have to balance between. You know, they got to pull from a little bit of everything.
I appreciate the joke of balance there, though. That was good job. But you know, it felt like we spent a decent amount of time in the scary verse, so I'm just happy that we're not there right
Agreed.
now.
Agreed.
Away from it, at least for the week.
Sure.
So, but it's in the comic verse in the same way that, like, there are certain. It's like in the comic verse, but kind of not really.
The way that the balance beam comp was in the comic verse.
Exactly.
Like,
so it's more like in the Indiana Jones verse. Let's be honest.
Sure.
But they have these artifacts that they have to balance on these pillars to get a line like flush to the bottom of the base of this pedestal. They have a couple of these artifacts. And then once all the pedestals are lined up properly, these lights are going to illuminate some letters on the wall, which will then have an anagram for them to solve. And once they solve the anagram, then they press a button and they finish the veto comp. And to me, one, I like seeing veto comps we haven't seen 90 billion times. So I'm always a fan of that. And then secondly, it was just a nice change of pace, because we've seen a lot of these, like, we did see a time veto last week, the like audio, visual, whatever nonsense. But that was like kind of boring, not gonna lie. This was actually like it required them to have skills and like think about stuff instead of just, you know, scratch CD, do basic human being tasks that every human being can do very easily, other than, you know, here, which is something that they didn't even think about doing before they made that comp. But it was really fun to watch, especially considering, one, we knew at least 2 people through it, which I think is always a good thing to do when you're in a veto situation that you don't need.
Literally, if I'm in a veto and I'm like, nothing is going to impact me, I'm not winning this.
Also, I love how Cameron's like, oh, I need to throw it, but I can't throw it that hard. I'm like, yes, you can. Literally the only comp you have won this season is a competition where you stand and hold a button, okay? These people do not know that you're smart, okay? Or if you are smart. That remains to be seen, to be honest. But, like, it just felt so unnecessary for him to be like, okay, I'm going to intentionally try to get third in this veto comp.
So specific and dumb.
Yeah.
And then also, he did, didn't he?
Yeah, he did get third. And the other thing that's really interesting to me is it seems like we've now switched to the just revealing the top 3 scores of the veto of it all.
Yeah, that's now 2 weeks in a row that we've gotten that. So it's like, okay, at least now, if that's how we're doing it, it's been consistent. Because these have been the only 2 time-based vetoes we've had so far, right?
Yes, I think
so. If it's going to be consistent that way, you know what? I'll take that. At least there's consistency.
Because what was the veto the first week? I forget. Heisem won. I remember that, but
I don't remember. It's only been 4 weeks, y'all. I can't remember a damn thing that happened in week 1.
How in the hell has it only been 4 weeks? Let's just say that.
It feels like 84 years, truly and
It's
honestly.
been 84 years.
Yes.
I mean, I just remember week 1, we were talking about the whole Kirsten of it all, and if Kirsten was going to get to stay in the house, if they were going to cancel the eviction. And now, like, it's been 3 weeks later, and it feels like so much has changed in that 3 weeks.
A lot has changed.
Regardless, Red wins.
Woo.
I'll be honest, he did good in the comp. I'm not gonna lie. He did pretty good.
He won the comp. But
yeah.
And then shocker, he doesn't use the veto. He doesn't do it.
So our final noms are Blue and Jag.
I mean, because nobody uses vetoes anymore, apparently.
Has anyone used the veto?
No, this whole 4 weeks, nobody used the goddamn veto.
No, Jag used the
literally
veto
last week.
Yeah, Jag used the veto last week.
Literally last week to backdoor Heisem.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, I'll be honest though, nobody ever uses it on anyone else anymore. That's embarrassing. That was unpleasant.
Yeah.
We're all just unplugging our headphones now. That's what's happening. Like, I don't need them anymore. I don't know if that was me, but I don't need them anymore.
Don't hear it anymore.
We're good.
Oh my God, I think that was me.
It might have been.
Jesus, that just killed my ears.
Oof. But
Logan, did you turn on your
did I what?
Did you turn on your
Yes.
Because you're echoing.
Okay.
Well, regardless.
Anyway. What?
Oh, I'm back. It was just echoing. It's still echoing.
We should be fine now.
Okay. Yep, and we're live, so we're not cutting all of that out. So here we go.
Nope.
You get what you get. Sometimes technical issues happen because I don't know what that was. That was crazy.
So we go to Thursday's episode, and it starts out, and it's basically just Jag is campaigning. What is Blue doing? Who knows?
She finally campaigned on the last day.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't really need to campaign. I mean, not trying to be that person, but like, if she's not the person in danger, and it's really just, are we keeping Jag or not? Right? I know she's on the blog, but like, she didn't really need to advocate for herself too much. And I mean, obviously, it worked out for her. We'll talk about it, but like, I don't really think she misplayed here. I think the whole lay low and let them figure out what they want to do kind of worked.
I mean, that does work. It definitely works. If you know that you're not the target, but it's like, we'll see if it comes back to me, and if it does, that it's gonna fall on me. Then I can start doing some, what do I need to do? Da da da. But she had a really good source when it came to like halting the tides turning to her, because Jared was vehemently against her going. Even when they wanted her to go, it was conversations for her to maybe possibly be the one to get it. He was like, absolutely not, because I need my bedmate with me so I could continue to defile all of the lounges in the house. So therefore, she can't go. And he was very adamant to the point where even Sri was like, he's not doing it. And so we're not doing it. That was it.
So then the house guests get to hear about the power that has been voted on by the fans. First time they have heard about it whatsoever. And they get told that the top 4 vote getters get to compete in this ball rolly. You've seen the thing, the big ball on the table, and they have to roll it to this hole at the end.
Table maze.
Table maze.
Sure.
Yeah.
And they cut out the one part of that was really interesting to me, which was Jared and Corey getting into an argument about the vote. But you know,
they're not. Well, Jared is their golden boy, so they're not going to show the fact that Jared told Corey straight up that he has no personality and that America would never vote for him.
And then America voted for Corey.
And then America voted for Corey.
I mean, that was an opportunity they could have used. Like, hey, look, Corey, you'll never get to vote. Congratulations. Right, cut to Corey. Congratulations, you get to vote.
Because I would have honestly cut it to where Corey was the first one they showed compete for that reason. But I'm not a producer of this show, and they want to make Jared look good.
Yeah, because they literally try to cut off all his crap on the feed. So, of course, they're not going to.
Of course, they're not going to show anything that anything that he's doing wrong. Of course not.
Of course
Absolutely not.
Oh, hello. Our Drag Race Brazil reacts come out on tomorrow. We're recording that tonight. So
we're filming it tonight. So tomorrow.
It'll be tomorrow. So thanks for asking.
Yeah.
But subscribe. Subscribe to this channel while you're here, and then go subscribe to our Cut Pot channel. And you can see all of our Drag Race stuff. Woo.
So we get to, they reused the set from the veto comp, which I was fine with. It actually looked good, so it's not like it was ugly or anything. It reminded me a lot of Big Brother 18 when they had the Battle Back comp with like the frog posters, and then they did Watch Your Dubstep on the same set like a day later. Yeah. I was here for it. So we get people coming out, and a lot of people are getting told no. We also get my favorite clip of the episode, which is Bowie Jane opening up her envelope.
No.
Boo.
Boo. But so the first one they show is Sari. And she has a very emotional reaction.
She was very emotional about that.
She's like, I'm surprised that people are voting for me. And I think that clues her into the fact, hey, we're watching for you and we support you, girl. Like, we got you. So I was happy that she had like a little emotional moment. I was like, America likes me. Not America the woman, America the country.
I think America the woman dislikes her, but I don't think
America the woman doesn't want to work with her.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly. So
then we get Corey next, and he's like, "Congratulations, great, and then Matt
he slays.
He slays real quick, and then Matt
and struggles.
I mean, Cere's a struggle. But then Matt gets his, and he's like, congratulations, yay. Matt slays. It's quick, it slays. Then the last person who gets theirs is Jag. Now, I was very surprised that Jag was the one. I didn't think Jag would be the one because I was like, it must be the casuals who like Jag because the Twitterverse is not rocking with Jag like that. Too tough.
And I love Jag. That's my thing. Is like this whole episode just made me happy overall. But like I love Jag. I've really liked Jag since the start, and I just think it's very unfortunate where he landed very, very early on. Now we'll talk a little bit more about him now in the live feed update, but because I think he's in a much better space now in the game. But much better than he was.
Yes, much better than he was. But he is not helping himself. He is not helping himself.
And I think the other thing too, I bet you Blue was probably pretty high up there in the votes too, and not
Blue had to have,
she did, or like the Twitter people. It's because if the casuals are like, oh, Blue or Jag, probably going home this week,
right?
It would be way more entertaining for one of them to win because we know the votes didn't close until what, Tuesday? I think.
Right.
Monday, I think.
Monday evening, but I mean the Sunday episode was out way
Exactly.
before.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I think whoever was on the block, regardless of who it was, stood a good shot at getting the casual vote.
Especially get those last minute votes because it closed that Monday morning. So once they saw that Sunday episode, they were like, "Okay, here they are. Let's give them the votes." So
I mean, and we can also talk about Matt getting the casual vote. Not that Twitter doesn't like Matt either, because Twitter likes him too. But I mean, like I've been talking about, I know Joker's is like kind of outdated now, but Matt has been, other than one day, this has been number one on Joker's the entire season.
oh,
And
Matt
that
is
has been like top 4, top 3 for the rest of the season too. So, you know, when you look at the casuals who probably would use Jokers over most other update things if they're checking feeds, because Jokers has a name. I mean, I'm not surprised that Matt or Jag did well here. I mean, Corey also has been like top 4, top 5 on Jokers too.
I was not surprised Matt was getting it. I kind of figured Matt would get it because Matt is getting a lot of he has a lot going for him. Matt is getting a lot of, he's just good looking. So people just like him because he's just good looking. By the way, shout out to Matt. Thursday looks scrumdiddlicious Thursday. I was like, my God, man. You are way too young for me to be looking at you like that. But sir.
Why has this season given my favorite diary room looks of all time? We got Corey in the pink outfit, and then we get Matt in that outfit after the competition with the shirt open.
And then we just get Mimi slaying every eviction night. Every freaking
on another level.
Another level of slayage.
Her and Blue have both been like killing these outfits.
Blue looked so good in this episode. I was like, girl, red is your color, even though you're blue.
Like, I mean,
Blue never died.
But like, Mimi just kills every week.
You know who else looked really, really good this week? I loved what Sari did with the double ponytail. I was like, Sari looked great.
Sari looked good, but yeah, Matt, I just had to give you that shout out because he looked so good Thursday. I was like, my God, you are way too young for me to be looking at you, but my goodness.
It's interesting for me too. God, sorry.
It was just something about the ponytail and the shirt that was open.
I think it's because they buzzed part of his hair. I honestly think that's what it is, because they gave him like a little bit of a fade, and then with the ponytail, it's just like, ooh.
And then the pants fitting just right. I was like, Matt, the
shirt buttoned as much as he absolutely needed to.
Every shirt from Matt could be 3 buttons down, and I'll be very happy with that. Like
less, and I'm okay with that.
He ate down this week. I was like, okay, Matt, I see you, because like I was.
Note to self: watching the Deaf Olympics.
I was just absolutely. I was like, my goodness, guy, you just look really good. But I wasn't surprised with Matt because, like I said, Matt, number one, he looks good. People just vote for pretty people. That just happens. Number two, he's getting the sympathy vote because people are like, production ain't doing Matt right, and they ain't been accommodating Matt this whole time. So we feel bad that Matt is not getting the accommodations in this house that he's supposed to. So if there's a power, he needs the power so he can have some kind of power and advantage in this game. So Matt is going to always be up there in that popular. If America's voting, I'm for sure Matt's gonna be up at the top 3, 4 because he's just got a lot going on. And then he's just, when he's not in his catty mood, because when he gets in the mood, Matt can be real slick in the mouth when he get in the mood.
When he was a have-not.
Oh, he's slick in the mouth when he want to be. He real sad. And he be like, he just get let loose on some things and runs a tyrant. But when he's not that, he's nice. He's funny. He's flirting with Izzy, which is my favorite showman of the whole entire house. I just think Matt is always going to be that guy in this house that America's going to root for because they want him to do well and succeed regardless of his disability. So, yeah.
I was happy with these results, honestly. I mean, the only thing I would have maybe done is like swap out somebody for Mimi because I think Mimi is definitely somebody I would have loved to see have this power. But like, I'm not surprised Mimi didn't get it. I know Twitter was all over like vote Mimi, vote Mimi, vote Mimi.
She ain't getting no edit.
Yeah, but she's not
Yeah.
getting it. And we also know a lot of people that were voting for Mimi were splitting the votes between Mimi and Corey. And I was seeing that everywhere.
Mimi
So
and Corey, Mimi in America,
Mimi and
probably even
Suri.
Mimi and Suri. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
at the end of
yes.
the day, you know, I don't think she needed the power. I think it would have put a little bit more attention on her. But I think she's probably in a good spot
Without anybody knowing, though, that's the thing, is like no one's clued on to the fact that Matt won the power and spoiler used it. But like I don't think anyone's other than the people that were informed about it, which is 2 people. I don't really think anyone
together, and it's the other person.
Jack.
Suri and Jared. Well, Jag knows, and Jared knows, but
yeah, he did tell Jack. I forgot about that.
but
Sorry.
Suri told Jared.
Oh, Jared, yeah. So 3 people.
And then Matt eventually told Jared.
I have this gut feeling that Jared is not going to be able to keep his mouth closed about this.
Oh no, absolutely not.
I mean,
He's gonna tell Blue.
He's gonna tell Blue.
He's gonna tell Blue.
Yeah. I could also see a world because the only person who doesn't know for a fact that Matt won that has been sus of Matt is Corey. So I feel like Corey might end up like talking to Blue about it, and then Blue's gonna talk to Jared and find out. But
I don't necessarily honestly, I think if Jared told Blue, I don't think that would be the absolute worst thing because y'all okay, I'm getting ahead of I'm gonna come back to my thought here in a second when we talk about the whole thing. So Matt won the BB power of invincibility. His power is that he gets to save one of the next 2 evicted house guests if he so chooses. It only lasts for 2 evictions. After that, the power expires. It doesn't matter. He used it. But he
night dies, baby.
Yeah. So he goes immediately to tell Suri. He's like, Suri has played Survivor a lot. Presumably he hasn't seen her play, but he knows that she is someone that is trustworthy. And knowing that much about Suri, this is the best possible move Matt could have made. Because we know Suri plays loyal as much as she possibly can. And we saw Suri be like, yeah, no, Matt trusting me with this information. Matt has gone way up on my list of like allies.
Yeah.
And they start talking and they're like, do we just save Jag? Because Suri has wanted to save Jag this whole time. A, because she thinks Jag is going to be better for her game moving forward. And B, because Blue is impeding on her relationship with Jared in this game. So when Jared has been vehemently, no, I'm not voting out Blue, no, I'm not voting out Blue, and basically the reason the flip didn't happen, Suri is looking at this as the opportunity that she's kind of needed. And it also it helps that Matt and Jag have been very good friends since day one. And Jag has been one of those people that's been really, really helpful for Matt in the game and there for him. So I think all of it kind of came together in we now go to the eviction. Neither of their speeches were groundbreaking. Blue talking about her mom. I was like, that's cute.
I loved her opening line of a wise woman once told me, if you don't win $150,000, don't come home. I thought that was fun. But like, I don't remember anything else that either one of them said.
Yeah. So we get the vote.
Hold on real quick. The only thing I liked about both of their speeches was that they spoke in their native tongue at the beginning, and both were able to give. That was the only part of their speech that I remember and that I cared about. And I didn't even know what they were saying, but I love that. I love that
diversity.
Exactly. I love that they got to do that and got to shout out, and America was able to see people of different representations, different cultures, able to speak their own language on national TV. So, period.
The only one that I've been waiting for 25 seasons is for them to finally cast an Indigenous. They haven't.
No, don't even twist your head. They have not.
That's insane.
They have not.
Can beat them to that? Oh, that's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Canada also has
Indigenous.
Canada has a better and worse relationship with their Indigenous population.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say it's better because I know it's not. I know it far from. But yeah. So Jag is evicted in a unanimous vote.
Yep.
He's blindsided. No one told him. And then as he's going to leave, the comic verse pops off. And they let him know that the BB power of invincibility was used and Jag is saved.
So the eviction is canceled. Yay!
So the eviction is canceled. Everyone gets to compete for HOH. But what I was saying, including Cameron, what I was going to say about Jared telling Blue about Matt using the power is we saw Blue's reaction when Jag was saved. She was crying when it all happened. So I don't necessarily think Jared telling Blue would be the worst case scenario, because I think that would actually pull Blue in a little bit more to that new kind of core that's forming. We'll talk about it here in a little bit. It's not formed by any means, but like it could be.
I'll be honest, as of like 2 days ago, you would have asked me, okay, after Cameron Red and fucking Billy Jane leave the house, who are pretty much the outcasts of the house at this point, right? Like the people that nobody really wants to work with, who would be the next two people on the block to be getting sent out of here? I would have told you Jag and Blue, but now because of how the house is shaping up, I don't think that's the case anymore. And I think we're seeing a lot of like shifting dynamics in the past 24 hours that really could, I mean, again, this whole season has been shifting dynamics, but like, it's like the freaking staircases at Hogwarts. They just keep moving back and forth, and everybody's working with everybody. But it's going to be really interesting to see not only where, you know, things go on Sunday. We know the nominations are going to happen, what, tonight or tomorrow?
Tonight.
Tonight? Yeah. Well, nominations, have they already happened, maybe?
No, not yet. Not yet.
No.
They're not yet.
But noms are probably going to happen in a little bit, and then, you know, veto, and then veto meeting. But by Sunday, we're really going to see if this stuff is going to last or if it's just reactionary mess from all the fallout of the invincibility power.
So there's
also that rumor going around online that it was basically going to be a hidden immunity idol and it would flip the vote. So like if Jag got all the votes and then the power got used on him, Blue would go home instead. And that's what a lot of people seem to think the power was going to be.
Yeah.
And then I didn't see that at all.
Yeah, I saw that everywhere.
I saw that
on I think it was a ET thing on their website, Entertainment Tonight, is that they had, and that's what they said the power was. But
what people thought was that if the power was used and it wasn't a unanimous decision, then it would be okay. Then Jag gets 10 votes. He doesn't go. It's fine. It's like how it was. But if Blue got a vote or any votes, if Jag's votes was null and void and taken away, then Blue would in return go home because she got votes. And I was like, that's what people were thinking that the power would do. See that at all. And so I did see that. And so I was like, oh, but then I read the rules and I was like, no, that's not what it means. It meant that the vote is just canceled and nobody goes home. But before we jump all the way into the live feed spoilers, we need to let people who don't want to know about live feed spoilers head on out. So if you don't want to know about live feed spoilers, because we're about to jump into that, thank you so much for joining. We appreciate you. Hit the subscribe, the likes, all of those things on all of either platform that you're listening or watching us on. Follow us on all of our socials at The Cut Pod. Follow us if you want to get your merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. And yeah, we're going to start talking in about, we'll be back on Mondays at 6, Wednesdays at 3, and Fridays at 6. So join us if you want to join us. But we're about to get into these live feeds. So if
that's what I wanted. I wanted the ticker banner.
I was about to hit that one when you put that. I was like, wait.
You're good.
But yeah, if y'all want to see that, if y'all want to join us for those, there we go. Now, if you don't want live feed spoilers, we're about to do that in like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. All right.
You couldn't even let me put up the damn banner. Jesus.
Jared's
Yeah, so feeds were down for about 3 hours after the West Coast airing of the show last night.
Mm-hmm.
They come back, we find out that Jared is the new HOH. I mean, he won a comp. Good for him.
We
He
found
said he
out
was going to win it, and then he won.
I mean, sure, but we find out this.
mad.
Go ahead. I mean, I'm not mad either.
Like, I don't like Jared. Obviously, I don't want him to win the season, even though I think he's probably in the best position right now, which hurts me. But like, I don't want Jared to win the season. But if he's gonna win HOH, at least it's a week where we know what he's gonna do, which I appreciate.
Look here. I am not mincing my words about this. As long as Sari feels is safe, I don't care who is HOH. So as long as Jared is HOH, we know Sari is safe. So I am okay with this. I just need him to keep the right people safe, which I think he's going to do. And I think this is an easy week for Jared because it's obvious people who he has to put up and he needs to put up and they need to go. So I don't think it's a hard week. I just think it's going to be one of those weeks where I'm just not going to be focused on the feeds when it comes to Jared and Blue because that's what they're going to give us on feeds all week. And I can't put myself through the Jared and Blue relationship this entire week. I just can't do it. I can't do it for me personally. But if you into that, whatever.
Am I the only person that is just like sitting there? I'm like, I'm not happy about him winning, but I'm also like happy about what's gonna happen because he won. Like,
he was like my second to last pick to win this comp, if I'm being honest. But he's gonna do something that I'm gonna be happy with, so I'm fine with it.
Right. And I mean, when we think about what this comp is, because we saw what the comp probably is. Well, what the comp is, but they showed it on BB Twitter and the picture. It's a knockout comp. And from what we hear, the rumors are Jared did not get picked at all until the very last round. And he only won because Izzy got it wrong. I
didn't see that.
He got Christmas.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, you know what I do love though, because we had Jag and Izzy talking after the comp, like when feeds came back on, and they were both celebrating and because they're talking like literally last week when it's perfect for the other side, which at this point the other side is just Cameron Red and Lily Jane. But it went as perfect as it could possibly go for you all until the very last second, and then they are the first three people out of the game.
Yep.
And I'm like, it's funny.
I mean, it is funny, and it was just like, well, Cameron was like, this is what I kind of low key feel bad for Cameron, and it's a very small, minute feel bad for Cameron. You went 14 hours in the pressure cooker to win it
for nothing.
Your HOH is extinct. It's canceled. And the two people you put up are still in the house looking at you like,
Oh, I love it.
I mean, low key, like for very half a tenth of a point percentage is feeling bad for Cameron. 10th of a point percentage. But otherwise, I'm like, you get what you deserve because Cameron is high key gross. And him on these feeds these last couple days have been high key gross. And him harassing America is out of line, and the production needs to step in and be like, you need to calm it down or you need to go, because he is literally harassing this girl, and it's getting creepier than what he did with Riley. It's getting creepier because now he has more time to get even more and more creepier with America, and she's not having it, and she is like she's literally complaining about it to everybody who would listen to her. And I'm like, I hope she goes into that DR and says, I
really hope.
I am uncomfortable with this person. He is literally following me around the house. Everywhere I go, he is there. He is talking about my appearance. He is talking about my clothes. He is talking about my body. I am disgusted by this man, and I feel unsafe with him. Y'all need to do something. I hope she goes to the DR. It gets to that point, and maybe, just maybe, we'll get somebody else flung up out of here before, and then we can just get right in the jury because literally he needs to
That
go.
would be fine with me.
Either way, he's gonna go unless he wins veto. But I would rather him get expelled so we don't even have to deal with him at the finale than him getting a chance to walk out the door.
So on that topic, from what we've seen from Jared's conversations, noms are very, very likely to be Red and Cameron. Red has been already made aware that he is a pawn in this situation and that the target is 100% Cameron.
Please, dear God, please.
I'm hopeful. I mean, we'll see. It seems like a lot of people are like, well, maybe we can then just work with Red if he's not attached to Cameron, because people do like Red.
Yes.
I mean, let's keep it. Red hasn't done anything really negative in the house, and
I don't mind Red. I don't mind Red. The only person I dislike currently in this house is Cameron.
I don't know if I go that far, but
who else?
Jared.
I don't dislike Jared, but I don't like Jared.
Fair. For me, it's one of those things of like, I am optimistic that Cameron and Red will lose this veto. I am thoroughly hopeful. However, in the back of my mind, there is a lingering thought that Bowie Jane could also win this veto. And if Bowie wins this veto and puts up Red, it takes off Red, because that's what she would do, the replacement nominee that has been floated around is America. And there is this tiny part of me that's thinking Cirie is going to finagle this.
I don't think so.
Okay, if they take America out now, okay, think about what that does for Cirie, because who does Corey have at that point, you know? And she's been low-key, she's been like, yeah, Corey's a little dangerous, but we've also seen in the past with Cirie, if somebody's a dangerous player, she doesn't take them out, she pulls them in and makes them work with her. I mean, look at Micronesia. She literally had the alliance of the most dangerous females, arguably, to ever play Survivor, and just had them all work together instead of going after each other. And I mean, if it wouldn't have been a bullshit final two, she probably wouldn't have won the season. No, she would have won the season. Let's keep it 100. So, I mean, I could see it. I don't think it'll happen because that would require Bowie Jane winning a comp. But, I mean, sure. I mean, Jasmine won a pie eating contest to win a comp. So, I mean, it could happen.
I don't... The thing is, do I see a universe where Bowie beats Red, Cameron, and Jared in a veto? I'm not too sure.
I could see Cameron and Red throwing it to Bowie. I don't think Jared would, but I think if it's a situation, it's kind of reminds me of like BB17 Boulderina, where like,
yeah,
Austin and Liz are on the block, so we're gonna throw it to Julia so Julia can like win it. I mean, obviously that's not how it ended up happening, but like,
the other big thing that's happened since Feeds came back last night is the formation of this new trio, which as of this moment I believe is still unnamed. They're working on a name. But it's Cirie, Matt, and Jag.
I don't trust it.
I'm a fan of it, and I'm gonna stay optimistic and hope it's something.
No, it's nothing. Jag don't trust Cirie. Jag has told Matt not to trust Cirie, and Jag has told Blue and Jag that they don't trust Cirie, and I know the optimistic is there, but I'm like, Jag, what are you doing? Jag is not helping himself in this matter. But I'm like, you got saved. You're not going to go up this week. Really, his bet is to lay low, but he don't know how to do that. He is already talking. And I mean, not saying don't play the game. Play the game, get your people, but he's throwing out name after name, and he's telling people who not to trust when you know that it's a possibility that they already trust them. Like, why would you go to Matt when Matt has literally Blue told you, Matt said the people he trusts is Blue, Jack, Sari. Those are the people he trusts the most. But then you're going to go to Matt and say, don't trust Sari 100%. Because she told Jared or her people about a power, and that got to me. And sure, Matt can be like, okay, maybe I can't trust Sari. You know what Sari gonna go right around and tell him? Yes, I told Jared that I got a chance to play for the power. So of course I knew what the power was because I knew I got to play for it. So yeah, it might be a power that could save people. And so Matt can be like, oh, that makes sense. And so then again, Jag, you have nothing, no leg to stand on. He needs to take this as a gift that you're given, your second chance. You build up your army quietly. Like, don't go around telling everybody who they can and cannot trust when you don't really know who is working with whom. Who, for real. Because sure, you would tell Blue. Blue knows that Jared has somebody in the house, so she's not going to tell Jared everything. But if Blue tells America, America tells Corey, Corey tells Jared, Jared tells Sari. Blue tells Matt, Matt tells Sari. You tell Matt, Matt tells Sari. You tell Corey, Corey tells Izzy, Izzy tells Sari. You don't know who you have for you to go back and just be so loose lips about who to trust and who not to trust and who don't go here, don't do it. You need to fix, because you don't know the structure of the house because you just found yourself on the 10 vote out the door. So obviously your knowledge on who is with whom and who's aligned with who is not there. So he needs to take this week to figure out, be observant, look around, where everybody going, who talking to who, where is my people. I know my people with Blue. I know I got Blue.
And Matt.
And he knows he has Matt. But he also knows Matt is with people who you don't want to trust. So you got to even be careful when you talking to Matt. Yeah. So I'm like, he's not taking advantage of the gift that he's given. And Blue, she knows she good because she's sleeping with the HOH. So she knows she good this week. But what if some crazy thing happened and it gets back to Jared that you don't trust him or you don't trust Sari, and Jared can use you as the next target. Like Vito gets used, he can use you. He just not smart about what he got. But I feel like if he go do this, it's above me now. I can't cheer for you, Jag, if you just go keep doing stuff to put yourself out there to ruin your own game. It makes no sense to me.
We also need to talk about Jared possibly. He is considering heavily trying to backdoor Cameron instead of putting him on the block with Red right off the bat, which pretty much everyone is telling him is a bad idea, and you should just put him and Red on the block together, because if Cameron gets picked and wins, he just takes Red off the block and they're both safe. And then
Bowie Jane goes home.
Bowie Jane goes home, yeah. Maybe if she now if Bowie's up against America, that's a different situation.
America goes.
Yeah, probably.
I think America goes.
America gets Corey. I think America probably gets Blue.
I don't think it's a unanimous vote. I think we would finally, because failed to mention 4 unanimous votes in a row. When this house has been this wild, I'm really still gagged about that.
Yeah.
I think despite the fucking Bowie Jane of it all, I do think if it's Bowie versus America, I think America goes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, though, because I don't think, honestly, thinking about it now, I don't think Felicia would vote to keep Bowie. Felicia has been like...
She would keep her. She would keep her for a number. She would keep Bowie because she knows Bowie is a closer number to them than America is.
Yeah. I think, honestly, the only person I would say is, 1,000% safe this week outside of Sari is Blue. everybody else, I mean, no one knows what's going to happen with them. So
I don't see him. I think the only other person I don't see him putting up Felicia.
Yeah. I mean, I could also see a world where he just backdoor Izzy.
I could too. I was gonna say, like,
he knows he doesn't have the numbers for it. He has to. But at the same time, he don't like her.
If he wants to completely destroy his game, he puts up Izzy.
Yeah, if he wants to completely if he wants to destroy his game and his in-game relationship with Suri, he puts up Izzy. If he wants to totally distance himself from Suri, that's when he'll do it. And either Suri is going to be like, okay, fine, we'll figure something else out, or she go be like, nah, now you didn't play this game and you didn't even tell me that you was put up, so now I have to deal with the aftermath.
I feel like at that point Suri would be like, hey, so he's my son, I'm not working with him anymore. Like, right. I could see Suri doing that,
because she know Izzy go blow up his spot if he put her
exactly
up.
So if he puts up Izzy, I feel like Suri would be like, so that's my son, I'm targeting him.
And I mean,
now that would be entertaining as fuck. I would love that.
And I mean, kind of can't put up Felicia because of Blue now thinking Felicia is his mom.
Mm-hmm.
So in a way of thinking, roundabout, I think Jared may have indirectly helped Felicia's game.
Oh, I definitely think so now.
Yeah,
now as HOH, but not next week.
Because I think the one person that like Felicia might have gone on the block if they were HOH honestly was Blue, and I think now I think there was a universe.
Now,
America.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, if it happens HOH, it is going to be some combination of Suri, Izzy, Felicia. That's
for sure.
And to me, though, it's surprising how that has not gotten back to Suri yet, because she's not been keeping it quiet. She's been open about that. But I mean, maybe Suri has heard about it and she just doesn't really care, because in her mind, if she's against Izzy or Felicia, I don't think she's wrong in thinking that she's got the votes to stay no matter who she's up against there.
For sure. I mean, the problem with that now is that Jag and Blue also said that and knows that. They were like, anybody who Suri sit next to, she's not going home. She's always will have the votes to stay. So if Suri does go up, maybe, like if America puts her up against Izzy, and then they can probably like, who is ever going to get Suri out? And then they can vote for Suri to go. They can maybe get Corey to vote for Suri to go.
For sure.
And then you turn around and get maybe possibly Red and Bowie. If they're there, be like, y'all could, this is the time when we split up the powerhouse, and she's not going to get the, they can make a valid case and campaign against Suri for Suri to go. But that's if, then you got Matt and let's say Felicia and Mimi who are like, why would we do that? And Jared who won't. So
it really
because at that point it would be 5-5.
No, it'd be 4-5 because
4-5.
5-4.
Yeah, it'd be 5-4.
I mean, the other thing on top of that that's really interesting is we are getting pretty close to the end of pre-jury.
Yeah.
Assuming that it's the traditional 9-person jury format that we've had since 16 was the first time we had the 9-person, or 15?
It'll be 9, I think.
Yeah. If it's 9, we're only 2 weeks away from that 9-person jury. So it would have been 1 if Jagger had actually left last night. So I mean, no, sorry, we are 3 weeks away because we have we're 2 because
it's 2. You're right, it's 2.
So
we're 2 evictions away from jury. Let's say that.
Yes. And honestly, if let's say Cameron goes this week, which at the moment does seem to be the likely outcome, right? Barring a veto or something crazy. Yeah. Cameron goes this week. Next week is going to be the last time they can get one of those big power players out of the game before jury starts. And we've seen them do it twice already this season, where they have said, okay, this person has lots of influence, lots of power. Maybe they were a little bit power mad, but they've had a lot of control, and we're getting them out before the jury. Because we saw it happen to Riley, it's happened to Heisem, and I mean, to be fair, it looks like Cameron's going to be the next person to go from HOH to evicted in a week. Also, I just love the fact that the only person who has avoided that curse so far is Miss Felicia, just saying icon mother queen.
I do love it.
Yeah, but I mean, it is. This has been a crazy summer. This is the first time we have ever had the first two HOHs evicted the next week after their HOH. Both of them at the same time. And this is also the first time we've had a major shifting house week to week to week to week. That, I mean, again, it is giving very much Survivor Cambodia, that everybody is just moving around at all times, and it's insane to watch. The season has been incredible.
I think this season, when we look back at this next year, when we're starting BB26, or even moving forward into 26, 27, 28, I think this season is going to be meta defining for how to play Big Brother in the 2020s.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think the way that this game has shifted, and I think that shift has started with 23. I think the Cookout doing what they did in 23 was very pivotal to this sort of new change that we're seeing, where people are sticking together, and it may not be big groups like the Cookout, but you see we go from the Cookout to the Leftovers to now Surrey Fields Incorporated, as I've definitively decided I'm calling them Surrey Fields Incorporated.
What about House of Fields? Because that's
House of Fields is cute too. But with House of Fields as well, I think this is going to be a season that we look back on in a few years and be like, oh yeah, because remember when that happened in BB25? I think we're going to see a lot less of this big block house divisions, and we got that, and I was happy to see it, because that is one of my favorite ways to see a Big Brother house. But I'm loving the fluidity of this house and the ability of people to, 1 minute Cherie is completely against Jag, and the next moment she's telling Matt to save Jag and wants to work with Jag, maybe.
And the craziness of this house, I mean, obviously Cherie is a big part of that, because she is, like we've mentioned many a time, she is the current center of the BB universe. Everybody is working with her to some extent. But I mean, really, when you think about it, there was a time period where we had that one season that would change how the game worked for the one season, right? I mean, in this point, I'm talking about Big Brother 12, right? Because go all the way back to 12, I mean, the Brigade really did redefine Big Brother at the time, right? And then 13, 14, 15, it kind of just didn't work out that way. And then you have 16, which a lot of people say, oh, 16 ruined Big Brother, which I don't disagree, because for a long time, I mean, outside of 17, 16 through 22, they all have that big dominating alliance, winning pretty much every competition and sending people home that aren't in their alliance, right? And I think 23, while in a manner of speaking, is pretty similar to that, because I mean, the Cookout didn't win everything, but they did control everything that entire season, right? It was a steamroll. It was an entertaining steamroll, but a steamroll. To now with 24, where the power structure, I mean, every week it was kind of different what was going on and who was going home and who was in trouble, because people were constantly moving around and trying to better their game. And now we're at 25. And this is really going to be the season where either this becomes the norm, where chaos is just part of the game and this is how it is from now on, or this is going to be the Big Brother 12, where, yeah, it happened here and it changed the game in 25, and it's going to go right back to normal in 26. We really don't know yet. And that's also part of the reason why 25 has been so interesting, is because it's not like any other Big Brother season we've ever had. I mean, the only season I can think of that had dynamics shifting like this is arguably Big Brother, I'm blanking on the season. Big Brother 20, the pre-jury of Big Brother 20, where things were going back and forth, but even then, alliances weren't shifting. It was just going back and forth between the two sides. It has been a long time since we've had a house that was not side versus side, and then it just goes crazy. And I've loved every second of it, and I really hope this becomes the norm, because it has been so good.
Yeah,
it was good, and I think that's it. Honestly,
I was gonna say, yeah, I think that's it. So we will like we said earlier, we will be back on Monday. It's going to be a big one on Monday because we're going to have noms for sure. We're going to have veto meeting most likely. I think we're going back to the normal schedule of events. So we will see what happens, who is likely to go home. But then again, these votes have been flipping every single damn week. So who honestly knows what's going to happen? In the meantime, we've covered the whole season. So if you've missed some of our reviews, go back and watch those. There's a whole playlist of that. So go watch our lives. And in the
scroll. They're all there.
Yeah. Make sure to hit all of the buttons on your preferred audio or visual platform that say you support us, because we love having your support and we love you. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The Cup Pod for all of our most up-to-date Cup news and our funny moments, because we are some funny bitches. We've been posting a lot of Big Brother ones recently, and I've loved all of them. So, yes. And make sure to follow the three of us on Twitter because we're fun and cool and pretty much only talking about Big Brother. So yeah. While you're down in the description, make sure to get your merch. Because there's a lot of it. Go get your merch. I need to get more merch, actually, is what I need to do eventually.
Cling.
But and
cheers.
Yeah, that thing.
That cheers thing.
And always make sure to expect the unexpected. From way outside the Big Brother house, we've been the Cup.
And
love one another.
Someone's always watching.
Good night, house guests.
Fucking Billie Jane.